What would happen if you fell in love with your friend's mom, and your friend fell in love with your mom? How would you feel? Hello friends. Today we're bringing you a very romantic movie called Milf, which was released in 2010. At the beginning of the story, we meet a boy named Brandon, who is in college. He notices a girl doing yoga, and he keeps staring at her. The girl gets annoyed and starts walking toward the principal's office to report him. As Brandon follows her, he accidentally trips and falls onto another girl, which ends up hurting her. He calls his friend Anthony and asks him to help out his mom. Anthony heads straight to Brandon's house. When he gets there, we see that Brandon's mom is actually very attractive. She makes some flirty gestures toward Anthony, and he starts checking her out while helping with her stuff and putting it in the car. When Anthony goes back inside the house, he finds Brandon's mom just stepping out of the shower, completely undressed. Seeing this, Anthony is stunned, his eyes light up, and he doesn't tell Brandon anything about it. He quickly leaves, gets some beer, and hands it to Brandon, who is happy. Later, Brandon and Anthony go to a party with their friends. The party is fun, and everyone is enjoying it, but only Brandon and Anthony don't have girlfriends. Anthony is so lost in thoughts about Brandon's mom that the girl sitting next to him gets annoyed and leaves. It's clear, Anthony is falling for her. Meanwhile, Brandon is talking to a girl named Alex, but her dress is torn. Brandon notices this but doesn't tell her. Suddenly, another guy sees them talking and yells, making Alex feel awkward. She gets upset because Brandon kept staring at her but didn't say anything. Just then, Anthony shows up, tells Alex about the torn dress, and she storms off, angry at Brandon for not informing her. During the beer party, some other boys show up and forcefully take their beer. Brandon is left frustrated. He doesn't have a girlfriend and jokes about taking care of himself manually. Then those same boys return and throw them into a gutter. Soaked and dirty, they clean themselves up and drive back home. As they arrive, they see both their moms sitting together watching TV. They seem very close. Their friends start laughing, saying their moms think they're still young and hot. Brandon gets embarrassed and says he's going for a walk. While out walking, Brandon sees Anthony's mom sitting in front of a mirror, changing clothes. He finds her very attractive. When she notices him watching, there's a spark, and they both start falling for each other. Now things are completely tangled. Both friends are in love with each other's moms, and deep down, they're both feeling weird and a little guilty about it. The next day, Anthony tells Brandon everything and says, "I saw your mom in that way, and I'm not okay with it. I can't forgive myself." Brandon replies, "It's not your fault. My mom is just like that." When Brandon arrives at Anthony's house, Anthony's mom comes to meet him and unexpectedly kisses him hard. Brandon tries to make an excuse to leave because he doesn't want Anthony to find out. Just then, Anthony shows up, and Brandon leaves with him. Anthony is suspicious that Brandon might have feelings for his mom, so he checks Brandon's phone, but doesn't find anything unusual. Then, they both get a call inviting them to a party. At the party, a lot of their friends show up. Everything is going smoothly, and each of their friends ends up getting a girlfriend. Their friends' lives are now set, leaving only Brandon and Anthony. Despite trying really hard to get girlfriends at the party, both Brandon and Anthony fail and end up. Later, they drink a lot of beer at a table and lose control. One of Brandon's friends goes to a room with his girlfriend and asks Brandon to wait outside. Brandon is keeping watch while his friend is having fun inside. Suddenly, two men show up and insist on opening the room door. Despite Brandon trying to stop them, they go inside and catch the couple having fun. The men kick Brandon's friend out of the room. Later, Brandon and Anthony are talking about last night's party. Anthony steps outside while Brandon is using the computer. He hears noises from the next room and peeks in. Just then, Anthony's mom comes in and tells Brandon she likes him. They kiss and start getting intimate. Meanwhile, Anthony is with his friends who start teasing him about his mom's affair. Anthony brushes them off and leaves. Back home, Brandon is still with Anthony's mom, and someone sees them together. Shocked, the person runs out of the room. Anthony comes in and opens the door just as Brandon and his mom try to hide under the table. He feels heartbroken. The next day, Brandon is out and sees Alex. He talks sweetly to her and then goes back to his friends. All of them are sitting together, wondering what's happening in their lives. They go to a new party, where everyone ends up with a girlfriend again. Everyone is enjoying their time. Brandon continues to have fun with Anthony's mom, but Anthony has no idea. Whenever Anthony comes home, his mom secretly sneaks Brandon out. One day, Brandon's friends are watching videos together when he shows up. They're not happy to see him, and Brandon realizes they're judging him. Meanwhile, Anthony is in a car with his friends when they see a girl drop her belongings. Anthony goes to help her. Back home, Anthony's mom calls Brandon and invites him over. Brandon tells her, "We shouldn't keep doing this. It might ruin my friendship with Anthony." But his mom insists, saying she won't let him go. At the same time, Anthony is spending time with the girl he helped earlier. But things don't go anywhere serious. The next morning, after a night with the girl, a bunch of kids show up and say, "Daddy, Daddy, will you be our daddy?" Anthony immediately freaks out and runs to his car. He and his friends speed away. We see that Anthony, instead of being somewhere else, had gone to Brandon's mom's house in the morning. Later, when both Anthony and Brandon are together again, they start sharing their love stories. Brandon talks about his relationship with his mom, and Anthony about his with his mom. Neither of them realizes that they are actually cheating on each other with each other's moms. Then Anthony organizes a family dinner, where Brandon also shows up. Before the dinner, Anthony warns Brandon not to do anything weird in front of his dad. Brandon straightens up and acts normal. During the dinner, Anthony's dad shares stories about his family and tells them that his success wouldn't have been possible without his wife. Brandon, meanwhile, is seen flirting with Anthony's mom. Anthony's dad advises them both to focus on their studies. Brandon responds by saying they're going to college regularly and studying well, adding that Anthony is like a brother to him. Just as they're talking, Anthony's mom starts touching Brandon. Brandon gets nervous, not wanting any trouble, and tries to leave. But Anthony insists that he must finish his dinner. After dinner, when Brandon is about to leave, Anthony and his dad come to drop him off. But Anthony goes somewhere due to some reason. Brandon tries to leave immediately. Anthony's dad then asks Brandon how long he's been having an affair with his wife. Brandon is speechless. Anthony's dad tells him to make sure that Anthony never finds out about it, and then he leaves. Meanwhile, Anthony gets a call from a friend who's drunk and asks Anthony to come pick him up. Anthony agrees and goes to get him. When Anthony reaches the house, a man, who turns out to be the woman's husband, asks him what he's doing there. Anthony distracts him and leaves. Later, while talking to his friend outside, his friend says it was a great time, especially when Brandon was sleeping with his girlfriend and Anthony brought dinner but didn't say anything because he was feeling emotionally numb. The next day, we see Brandon and Anthony playing football together like good friends. While they're enjoying themselves, they get invited to another party. The party turns out to be amazing. Brandon and Anthony cut the cake together. In the next scene, Brandon is hanging out with his friends, annoyed at them for something. Anthony joins in, but he's worried about his dad. Their friends invite them to another party. Everyone else already has girlfriends, but Brandon and Anthony don't. They don't feel like going to the party alone. Brandon says, "I don't have a girlfriend," and Anthony says the same. They decide to go to the party together and promise to stick by each other. Then we see Brandon going to ask Alex if she'll go with him. Alex asks where he's going, and he says he wants to go to the party with her. She's happy and agrees. Later, Brandon meets Anthony's mom and tells her they need to end whatever is going on between them, so their special friendship doesn't get ruined. She agrees and says, "Our son should never find out about this." At the party, everyone is enjoying themselves. Anthony and Brandon are together again. Suddenly, a guy with one eye shows up, and they both make fun of him. The guy runs away. At the party, Brandon is very happy to see Alex, and once again his eyes are drawn to her dress. Even if he tries, Brandon just can't take his eyes off her. Meanwhile, Anthony's mom signals to Brandon, and he walks over to her. She gets close to him. Then we see Brandon kissing Anthony's mom. Just at that moment, Anthony walks in and gets furious at Brandon. Brandon apologizes to Anthony, but his mom doesn't say anything. Anthony grabs a tool and tries to attack Brandon. "I'm sorry. I promise I'll never do this again." Then Anthony says, "Well, I loved your mom too." Brandon is shocked and wonders what the hell is going on. Just then, Brandon's mom walks in and apologizes to her son. The next day, both of them are packing their clothes when their friends show up and tease them. Anthony is going somewhere, and when Brandon is alone, Anna comes to him and tells him that Anthony told her everything, that Brandon is in love with her. They kiss, and that's where their love story begins. Brandon finally gets his girlfriend, and Anthony gets his girlfriend too. And then, all of their friends end up having the same girlfriend, which somehow makes everyone super happy. With this happy ending, the movie comes to an end.